The ones that
look at
Conor
this.
landed. This is a slobber knocker. Oh my God, these guys
Holy
are going
shit.
after it.
Oh, shit.
Jim Miller throwing some bombs. Holy shit. This is outstanding. Oh, straight right by Lozon. Lozon! Oh my God.
Lozon got that good jab.
He's got real good boxing, man. Very good fundamentals. And heart. Both of these guys got some heart. It's interesting, man, deciding how fights should be scored, because I don't think they've got it down yet. I think it still needs work as a system, because I think we had a bad head start in MMA, starting off with a 10-point must system. I just don't think it's adequate for all the aspects of MMA. Boxing is only judging one dimension. They're only judging one style of striking. It's just with the hands. That's it. There's a clear rule set. You could teach somebody it. I don't think a lot of people totally understand who's even winning fights sometimes. You know, I don't think people understand who's in a bad position and who's totally safe. I just think there has to be a level of competency in martial arts themselves to truly grasp it at the highest level. That's why I think like former fighters would be, like Ricardo Almeida, I know, is doing it in New Jersey, which is awesome, and he's a brilliant guy, and he was a great fighter too. And a black belt in jiu-jitsu, completely understands the ground. Like, that's the kind of guy you want being a judge. Like, that's perfect. You want a guy who really understands the sport. And we have to make some sort of consensus as to what's most important. Like, if you're gonna judge the fight the way we're doing it right now, round by round, and a guy could just be overwhelming the guy towards the end of the fight, and it looks like he's winning, and he loses a decision, which I think we all agree is like, it just doesn't make any sense.
See, right here, here's a good example.
Yep.
The first half of this round, Jim Miller's all over Joe Lozon, landing the bigger shots, but now the round's ending with Joe Lozon getting the takedown and
passing over his half guard right now.
Maybe not doing the same kind of damage that Jim Miller was doing on him on their feet. So if the round ends here,
yeah,
you know, some people would give it to Jim, some people would give it to Joe.
Yeah. Well, this is an awesome round because there's
unless
still
it's
2 minutes
clearly
to go
defined,
almost.
unless it's in like a rule. If in that situation, like they have those situations written out, all the situations. How do you score it in this situation? You know, but then you know you basically take the judging out of it, and then it's more like, you know, I mean, a judging system is it supposed to be an exact science, or do you want? I mean,
it's weird, man, because you and I might disagree. Oh, look at that elbow. I mean, it's very possible that we might disagree about certain aspects of scoring.
or maybe it's good that you can't trust the judges. Then that forces the fighters to not leave it in the hands of the judges, like everyone else says. Like,
man, I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense. There's so many MMA fans out there that would make amazing judges. How many people do you think that post on the underground would be incredible judges? So many, man. There's so many experts. Like, think of these guys that are doing these YouTube clips now, you know, where they're breaking down fights and talking about technique. Have you ever seen a lot of those? Like Lawrence Kenshin, you ever seen his stuff?
No, man.
He does a lot of stuff on Muay Thai and kickboxing and stuff, and man, he knows his shit. Beautiful videos. He's got them all over YouTube, and he breaks down all these different aspects of striking and shows what great fighters. Look at this beautiful fucking fight, man. Joe Lozon staying on top. Where he shows like where they erred and where guys capitalized on certain things and like certain traits that guys had. Like he had this breakdown about Customato and Mike Tyson and his footwork. And a bunch of stuff on Muay Thai. And maybe it's Jack Slack that had the Customato one. There's a bunch of guys.
He mounted him.
Oh my God, he's going for the armbar.
Oh shit.
My God, Joe Lozon.
Oh, fuck. What a great ending.
Wow.
Dude, he went right for that arm.
Oh my God. So that was the end of the round.
That's the end of the fight.
I know, but like that was a nice armbar. Shit. I thought
He
for a second he
escaped, though.
tapped.
No, he escaped.
What a fight.
Unless I didn't hear the bell.
No, I think you're right. I'm pretty sure. Because they're not showing the, they would be showing the finish if that. What's that? That was the end of the round. God damn. powerful Joe Lozon with the takedown. Yeah, takedowns are huge, man. Guys don't want to be taken down. It's like, how much of a big deal is it? It's got to be worth a lot, man, because someone's doing something to you that you don't want them to do, and it's hard to do it. It's got to be worth a lot. And I know a lot of people say, yeah, but you know, sometimes if a guy takes you down, you get right back up. It's no big deal. But it's still kind of a big deal. It's still kind of a big deal. That guy took you down. You didn't want him to take you down, and he took you down. So, and how long did he hold you there? Like, that's got to be worth something. It's just the question
I agree with that.
But what's worth more, control or damage? That's the big question, right? Like, how do you define? I don't think you can. I mean, I don't think everybody's going to agree. Striker's going to think that striking's more important.
Getting hit is worse than being controlled. You got if it comes down between, dude took him down and held him but didn't do any damage, but earlier in the round he got hit with like 3 good shots that kind of stunned him and rocked him. You go with the guy that landed the punches.
Right. You got to have damage, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Damage is huge.
Because if you get rocked, that means you almost lost the fight right there.
Yeah.
If you get taken down and end up in some dude's full guard or even side control, doesn't mean the fight was almost over. I mean, if you get all the fights that had side control in them or full guard in them and factor in how many times the fight ended from that position, it's super low, 0.00002%.
Yeah. You know, I think there should be a possibility of having longer rounds. I think it would be interesting. I've always wondered, like, when you're watching a 5-minute round and a guy takes a guy down at like 3 minutes and 50 seconds, and then for the next, minute is just completely dominating on the ground, and you want to see where this plays out, and then the bell rings. Like, that was one of the interesting things about Pride, is that you would see this arc in those 10-minute rounds. And I know as far as like athletes' performance, it's not the best thing because it's too hard to do. Like, Chael Sonnen thinks 5 minutes is too hard, and he might be right. You know, and now that everyone is all USADA'd, they're forced to do this all completely on the natural, and it's got to be hard to fight for 5 minutes. But
you got to have at least 5 rounds. You got to have 5 minutes. I'm sorry, 5 minutes. Anything shorter than 5 minutes is ridiculous.
It seems ridiculous for a grappler, for sure.
I think organizations like the UFC or Bellator should have the option to do fights where this special fight is going to be 1 10-minute round or something like that, or 1 5-minute round and then a 10-minute round, or a 10-minute and then a 5-minute like Pride used to do. Why the fuck not? There's no reason why you shouldn't be allowed to do that. Oh, Jim Miller wins.
Split decision, slobber knocker. It's a perfect example, right?
Yeah, the fight ended with him on his back, mounted. He escaped that armbar right at the buzzer, and he wins. So, but based on the point system, he must have won the first and second round.
I do not think the point system is diverse enough. I don't think you can have a 10%. Like, the margin is always going to be in these 10% bumps. You know what I'm saying? Like 10-9, 10-8, 10-7. That seems crazy to me. Like, why these big jumps? Why these big chunks? Like 10 point. Why is one 10-9 round where a guy totally kicks a guy's ass and it's a 10-9 round, and another one a 10-9 round where they're just barely squeaking by each other. You can't figure out who won. You have no idea who won. How do you score that round? And you look at the numbers, like equal number of punches and kicks landed, equal number of takedowns attempted and defended. You know, what the fuck do you do with that? You just pick a guy.
Yeah.
Or, you know, that's what a lot of guys do, right? Yeah. That shouldn't be a 10%
I didn't do that,
thing.
Though. I didn't do that.
No, you didn't?
No. If the first round was too close to call, I'm not going to call that one right now, because if the second one's too close to call, I'm going to give them a round each, and then we're going to decide it in the third.
Well, a lot of people don't know that you used to do it for the UFC because it was so long ago. A lot of people listen to this.
But not officially. It was like just the way I scored it in my,
right. You weren't a judge for the UFC, but what you would do was like Harold Letterman on HBO, which I always loved. I loved that aspect. When Harold Letterman would come on, I'll tell you how I see it, Jim. And he would go over the score. Do you remember that guy?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. I mean, he's the best.
Yeah.
And
my spot was based, like, rip that off.
Yes, I know. But
it was shit.
But I like that. I think MMA could benefit from something like that.
Yeah, got to get a real fighter in there.
Yeah.
I never fought in the UFC. I never fought MMA, so I was the wrong guy.
You weren't the wrong guy because you know a lot about fighting and you had a really good system. Like, your system is probably like one of the best systems, plus if you also analyze the other aspects of the fight. Like, if you look at your system, like you would have like takedowns in one column, and then you would have like submissions and kicks and punches, and you would just make marks for each guy whenever you did it, and then you'd look at it all, think about it in your head, and then decide like what was important. But I think that is like the big catalyst. Is like, you know, those subjective calls that you have, but towards the end of the round, even though he only landed 4 or 5 punches, he had his opponent really badly hurt, so I'm going to give him the round. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the only reason I did that is because I had to go on air, and I had to know what the fuck I'm talking about. And when you're watching a fight, you forget.
Right.
So I would write anything significant, I would write down, and I'd have the little shorthand for it, like left hook. And then so if I went on air, I could look down at that and go, well, early in the round, he had a takedown, but he did get knocked down and he landed a couple leg kicks, and I'm going to give the round to Boom. You know, that way I sounded like I actually remembered what I was watching, but I was cheating. But and it would make scoring easier when I could go back in the round and go, oh shit, okay, let me give it to this dude. Boom. It's easier to go back and review the round. Instead of going on pure memory, because sometimes you forget. It's a 5-minute round, something happens in the first 45 seconds, and then a bunch of other shit happens in the middle. Now there's 15 seconds left, some shit's going down. You might have forgotten that shit in the beginning. You know?
Yeah. You know why I think too? When you're really involved in a fight, you're in the moment in a lot of ways. You know, you're watching it, you're like, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? You're locked in the moment. And I don't know about you, but when I'm in that spot, I don't have like the best memory.
No, my
you know,
memory
like
sucks.
the more I'm enjoying a fight, like I'll remember it after the fight, but like while it's going on, I'm thinking about what's happening only, and I'm like, oh yeah, that did happen. Oh, that's right, he took him down. Oh, the choke, I forgot. How did I forget the choke?
Yeah, I'm thinking, damn, I don't remember any of this shit.
Well, you get so locked up in them over a course of 5 rounds. Like I know that Robbie Lawler versus Carlos Condit was one of my favorite fights ever, but I couldn't tell you what happened.
God damn it, Condit Maya.
It's tonight.
Is right now. Holy
it's
shit.
Tonight.
That's
so
gonna be
excited.
crazy.
So excited.
Yeah.
Oh, I love this fight.
Yeah. You know, there is hope that these conversations that we have on podcasts about the scoring system, it should be this or it should be that. It is nice to know. I thought to tell you the truth, there was a couple times we got into it where I'm like, why the fuck are we talking about this shit? This shit's never going to change. It's just like, forget it. You know what I mean? Let's just drop it. But there is hope because there have been changes.
Yeah, they made the new changes to the touching on the ground, right?
Yes, explain. You probably know. I think you told me, so can you refresh my memory?
Yeah, this is, I don't want to screw this up, and I'm not exactly sure when it goes into play. I probably should know this.
First of the year.
First of the year? Yeah.